Hello, hello everyone. I'm glad that you have joined me today on our second installment of the Career Success and Recognition Blockers. Hi Lucy, how are you? I'm glad that you could be here. I'm going to, you can't see me though. Okay, we will see what we can do about that. You should be able to see me if you, I'm going to start sharing this screen soon, so hopefully, yes, you can start and refresh the screen, and it should be okay. Are you watching it from the laptop? Because that's the best way to, oh good, wonderful. So you refresh the screen and everything is working, wonderful. Yee! Wonderful, excellent, okay. Wonderful, I'm glad. Yay, wonderful. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to, start our second installment of Career Success Blockers, which is going to be focusing on the tips and strategies that we did not get time to focus on our talk on Thursday. It was absolutely amazing, the session that we had on Thursday. We learned so much about our current challenges and career blockers that women, executive women, are facing in London, and I'm sure that they're facing similar challenges globally, because I have spoken to women from all over the world, and they have shared with me, if not identical challenges, I have to admit. There were some variations, more or less, but all of them are sort of focusing on three main topics that we actually covered on Thursday. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start sharing the screen. Let me just see how this works. So I'm clicking on the screen share now. Let me see. Wonderful. Excellent. So this should be, you should be seeing my screen where it's saying the title. It's like a Word presentation, Microsoft PowerPoint actually, sorry, with the title, What's Blocking Your Career Success and Recognition? If you can all see this, if you can just let me know. I'm going to switch off my camera, so the screen is like then bigger. Sharing screen is bigger. It's just a little bit difficult to get into this at the moment. Let's see if this goes better. It's somehow disappearing on me for some reason. But I'm trying to switch off my camera, but it's not really listening to me at the moment. Okay, let's see if this is going to be better. I'm just trying to enlarge the screenshot so you can see me better. So it works with Chrome. Oh, brilliant. Hi, Lisa. Brilliant. And what I'm just trying to do is to enlarge the screen sharing. But it's just, this button is not really working properly. Okay. Let me try this way. Excellent, so this is working. Okay, so now I've enlarged your screen so you can see it better. Excellent. Okay, so now we can start. Okay, wonderful. So let's move on to what's blocking your career success and recognition. And as you can see, if you're watching this video with me and with the screen over there, then I have to just give you a couple of encouraging words. So pick up the spirits, especially after work. So if you are here with us tonight, then you are definitely on the way, making the steps to find out how you can right now take the ownership of your future and step in and learn how to do what you always dreamed of doing. You can learn right now how to stop being your own enemy, as we call it. And because we have concluded that we are our own enemy because we are letting our confidence stop us from career success and recognition. And we have concluded that confidence also is being influenced by our limiting decisions, right? Our limiting beliefs. And I have to share with you that there have been many great people that have done this kind of work before us. And you can do this work too. I mean, the history has shown that one of the most successful people have started from nothing and from really, really bad circumstances. Like, I'm going to just throw a couple of names in that of people that I admire, like billionaire Warren Buffett. I have read his biography, and this guy was born in the 1930s. And you all know that this is the time of the Great Depression. So you can imagine the circumstances this person has been born into and the environment of Great Depression, where people literally starving to death, not having jobs for years. And look what has happened to him. So compare his circumstances and just look at briefly your life today. And then the Apple, the Microsoft, the Walt Disney. These people and creators and companies are all started small, and now they're thriving because of the decision they have made years ago to step up and make the change, to change their life and the life of other people and for good. So what I'm trying to invite you to open up your mind to is that the perfect moment and the greatest opportunity for you is now. The future is right now, right? So when I first started to be aware of my being my own enemy, my lack of confidence in myself and being easy to fall into the wrong careers and being manipulated, I was, believe it or not, 7 years old, and I believe I shared this story with you. Just to remind you, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was with my mom, standing in the main entrance hall of our building, and I was screaming the building down and crying because she wanted me to go to the music school. I didn't want to enroll to the music school, but she was convinced that this was the right thing for me to do. So she basically forced me to. And at the time, I did not have anything else that I was passionate about and I wanted to do. So I gave in. So I could have done, like, tennis. I could have done writing the poems or doing the competition in mathematics, but that was not my passion. So in that moment, my struggle to find my purpose and my calling began at 7 years old. And it did not solve it for 3 decades down the line. I did not know where to turn to for help, and I did not know whether my problem was solvable at all. And in general, I was numb to the even existence of me having this problem. I was just thinking, oh, it's okay. I'm fine. Everybody else is facing the same issues, right? So what happened to me, to jump a few decades later, everything in my life was wrong. I was in a wrong job. I was alone in a foreign country. My family was not doing well, and I had the worst relationship in my life, torturing me every day for 3 years. So summary was, from falling into studying in a wrong career, which is music, then I fell into a wrong job, which is dining entertainment industry. And I had everything wrong. I basically hated my job and I could not get my relationship to work. And then in regards to my relationship, because when something is so wrong, everything becomes wrong. I discovered that the man I loved with all of my heart and soul was lying to me for 3 years. And one of my good friends actually told me that she discovered that he was married with a second child just being born. I mean, when she called me, first of all, she asked me, like, Anna, are you sitting down? And I said, no. She said, please sit down. And I have something to tell you. And after that shock, a month later, I lost my dad. He passed away 3 days before I was supposed to come to see my family. So At that year, it was like 2010, I got to the rock bottom and feeling so down that I wanted to end my life just to stop feeling so much pain. So I was laying on the floor, feeling my whole body convulsing from the pain, and my head felt like it was about to explode. And I remember like it was yesterday, thinking to myself, if I experience this pain again and again tomorrow morning, I'm just going to jump off the bridge. And I knew that this time I will do it. So I've hit the rock bottom. There was no hope for me. Everything was wrong. Careers, relationship, I made so many wrong choices. I didn't have a clue what is it that I was doing wrong. So from that hellish place, I have managed to find and create the solution. I have managed to overcome my lack of confidence. I've managed to solve my problem of feeling lost and useless and a loser. And I have come up with a solution, this scientific process, and with it, I got my confidence back, my focus, and my calm. And with that, I have finally found my ideal career. Of course, I was not alone in this journey of turning myself from being my own worst enemy into my own best friend. I had fabulous people, fabulous coaches helping me through this journey, and today I am free from stress, fear, health problems, and feeling bad about myself, and I feel love and abundance in my life. And now I'm getting these same results for other women that I'm working with. So women I'm working with gain confidence, focus, calm, and often learn to create clear boundaries and clarity and financial prosperity. And they come back to me saying that they know themselves now, and this gives them strength to pursue what they love. Okay, so now you see how this being your own worst enemy and making wrong decisions have governed my life in the completely wrong directions up to the turning point where I was thinking of ending my life. But after that, I have asked for help and I've turned everything around, and now I have found my purpose and I've created my calling. So you see, I wanted to point out these factors that have created these outcomes. So you see your career, so dealing with your career blocks, dealing with my career blocks. It all comes from being conditioned with society, being conditioned with your family, and yourself. We talked about limiting decisions and how they run our lives. So 95% of every decision that we make, every decision that I've made, has been unconscious. So let's go a bit further. Alrighty then. Okay. So I would like to just point out the career progression that has been happening. So, as you know, my story is that I have started graduating in the career that I did not love, which was music. And then I fell into I tried to go towards the music. In the end, I was very, very talented, and I sort of accepted that, yes, I can be successful in music. And I finished uni and I became assistant professor of music, and I tried to find a job here in Britain. But I needed 2 extra years of studying to continue in this career. And to find a career as being a composer, it's just joining a shark city. And I could not face my soul being ripped away by people who are really cruel employers in the arts and music industry. So then I went into a different kind of job. And if you can start sort of associating yourself in your own circumstances from when you were at uni, what kind of career did you choose? Did you just fall into the uni and chosen something that you thought it would be good for you, that would be safe, that would give you financial security? Or did you have a strong passion? Just think about that one. And then think about, where did you have your first job? What kind of company was it? Did you pay attention of their values, of their mission? Did it at all occur to you if this company has some kind of a mission and values? And then, where are you now in your career? Are you a manager, or you want to become a manager? And are you a leader? I would like you to focus on that. So, Next slide is, if you're a beginner, we're going to you are basically at the point of learning about yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your values, and purpose. So being at the beginning is like you being at uni. This should be the beginner stage. Or maybe beginner stage should be starting in primary school, secondary school, then college, then uni. That also is, everything is about sort of being at the beginning, learning about yourself, your strengths and weaknesses, values and purpose. Now, if you're a manager, then you are maintaining established processes and improving them based on your best qualities and talents. Right? So basically, a manager is somebody who is maintaining a status quo. And the leader is basically someone who is changing the trajectory of business or the course of history. And true leadership happens when there is a synchronicity between yourself and your mission and your core strengths in the right place, environment, and the right time. So think about where you want to go. You all want to create career success and recognition, and that's not being a manager anymore. That's being a leader. So think about where are you right now in your life, and I would like to answer this question. I've created a poll. If you can sort of go to the poll sort of okay, yes. Oh, wonderful. Elisa can see the slides. That's good. Yes, if anybody has a problem with any screen shares, just refresh the screen and you'll be able to see the slides and you'll be able to see the video when the video starts as well. So can you all see the polls? Oh, wonderful. I've got some answers already. Let's see. I've got 3 answers. One is what stage of career development are you on? Graduate, beginner, manager, or leader? So graduate 0, beginner, apprentice, manager, and leader. Okay, so we have a manager leading at the moment. Wonderful. Excellent. Thank you for your answers. Okay, so basically, you cannot be a manager nor a leader without having 100% clarity on who you are, what you stand for, and your purpose. I mean, without knowing who you are, what makes you happy, where and with whom do you want, what do you want to thrive? Okay. So now I'm going to give you the outcomes of this webinar. So basically, you will have the strategy to start on your own career success journey. You will have opportunity to break your disempowerment pattern. And for that, you will need 2 things. So what am I thinking about when I say disempowerment? Basically, many executive women are still stuck at the beginner stage or management stage. They can't move, especially the beginner stage without knowing. The beginner stage doesn't mean that you have just sort of finished uni and started a job, because the beginner stage includes knowing yourself thoroughly. So basically, if you're stuck somewhere in your career, you most probably have lots of elements from the beginner stage that are unsolved and the problems that carry this beginner stage. So this is expressed by either having these kind of challenges, lacking confidence to break the glass ceiling or to blow your own trumpet, if you have fear of asking to be paid more, if you're being refused for promotion, if you're having toxic environment, if you're being frustrated and overwhelmed with your work, and if you feel like you don't have time to do tasks nor have social life because you don't have time. So to break this pattern, you do need to know 2 things. Number 1 is you need to know tips and strategies for career success, very practical things. And 2, you need to master your limiting beliefs, because these are things that are burying your success. So in this webinar, you will get tips and strategies to increase confidence, and you will learn how to deal with toxic situations, and you will learn how your limiting belief stops your career success. And at the end, you will get a chance to learn even more about your career success blocker and how to overcome it. Does that sound good? Excellent. Okay, so let's move on to the practical side of things where I'm going to be sharing the tips for success. So number one is for you to create top 3 priority tasks. And if you remember, I have given you little sort of leaflets when you were leaving, and they looked like this. So my top 3 tasks to-do list. So if you have it, you can just grab it and see what we're going to discuss, what's on it and why is it important to have and to do every single day. That's why I have the whole notepad that I've created. And you can have it too. If you're interested, let me know if you want to have it with you. I'm using it every single day and it's helping me immensely achieve these things. So basically, to create top 3 priority tasks every morning. This strategy has been given me by my business coach and my emotional intelligence coach, which I've hired when I burnt out. And when she asked me to do this strategy, I laughed. I said to her, don't you realize that I have today only 37 priority tasks that I have to finish? And I laughed at her. But don't you understand how many things do we have to do to be successful? And she said, I understand, but stay with me here and just do this. And I said, why? And she said, if you create only 3 top priority tasks, this matters to you because this is your first step to focus and confidence. And okay, so I said, all right, fine, I'll do this. So she said, every morning, before you start working, you ask yourself these 3 questions. Number 1, what am I currently doing and committing to right now? And then you write it down. What are you really doing? Just notice. Second question, is this what I should be doing? So answer this question, is this what I should be doing? And think about your workload. Think about what is it that you have to do every single day. Is it the workload, or do you have to speak to your boss about something that is important to you? And then third question, at the end of my workday, if I do this task, will I be truly satisfied with my day? So these 3 questions are crucial for you to discover which are really top 3 priority tasks for you every single day that are going to be giving you happiness and fulfillment. Because this exercise is important because it connects you with yourself and sparks the awareness of what truly matters to you. And it also starts to build positive emotions about completing tasks that matter. So this creates confidence in you. And this is called also stacking positive emotions. Because if you look at your job and how stressed out you are, either you are approaching burnout or you are approaching rust out, and we discussed the differences between the 2. One is that you are overworked and overwhelmed by too much work and too much toxicity. And the rust out is you basically dying from boredom at your work. So all of these, both of them, are stacking up negative emotions in you, which is killing your creativity and it's killing your resourcefulness to create career success. So to counteract this, you start building positive emotions. So this then starts creating confidence for you and opens up your resourcefulness. So do this exercise every morning and do not start anything new when you're tired. This is now very, very important. If you're trying to establish new habits like this one is, never start it in the evening. So schedule this exercise for tomorrow morning when you wake up fresh, because humans have like very interesting brains. We are going back to the section of the subconscious and the brains again. We have the most primitive brain that doesn't require much energy to run. And that one is like eat, sleep, and have sex. Eat, sleep, and drink and have sex. And the second brain is a bit more developed. It's helping us with the basic stuff, administration things, nothing really like special. And the third brain is the most developed of all, and it takes all of our energy. And this brain we have to use when we want to create success. We have to be creative, we have to be resourceful, we need this brain. So if you want to create something, you always start creating it when you're fresh and you're rested. Okay, so This is very important. So let's go back to this notepad. So if you have it with you, it's brilliant. If you if you're going to do this tomorrow morning, I'm going to just zoom in to show you why this notepad is important for you. So first of all, it has all the 3 questions you're supposed to focus on each morning. And then you decide 3 top tasks that you're going to do this day. And when you finalize them, you just tick them here. And remember to drink 8 glasses of water throughout the day if you can, because it's very important to detoxify and keep yourself refreshed and mentally active. But you see, when you decide on top 3 tasks and then you panic and you say, oh my goodness, I have many, many more, there are some extra helplines here that you can dot your other tasks on. And these you can finalize when these top 3 are done. Okay, so at the end of your day, so this is you put this down in the morning, and in the morning you also decide how do you want to feel this day. So today I want to feel, and you decide in the morning how do you want to feel. So you can put down loved, you can put down secure, you can put down anything that is sort of relates to you and how you want to feel, and you put down only positive emotions there. Okay, and also in the evening you sort of revise this sheet, you see if you can tick all 3, and how does it make you feel, and then you say in the evening, today I'm so grateful for, and you jot down what are you grateful for. And this is important because gratitude is in direct opposite with anger and fear. And most of us, when we're stressed out at work, we're not achieving, we're not successful, we feel frustration, fear, anger, lack of confidence. And when you are grateful, this deletes these emotions really nicely and gradually. So when you put down, today I'm so grateful for, you can put down anything. You can put down, I'm so grateful for sunshine. I am grateful for that I finished my task. I'm grateful for that my, meal was really tasty today. Or I'm grateful for that I spoke to my mom. You can put on anything that you're grateful for, and just keep it simple and keep it plenty. And you're going to then again build up the positive emotions, and you build up your confidence. Okay, and then you there's like a divine doodling thing, so you can just sort of start releasing your creativity. You can write and draw here. You can just put down flowers, numbers, anything you like. So it's like a really good way of planning your day, this one, and concluding your day. So it's a very, very important thing to do. Okay, next strategy. So next strategy is called if-then strategy. So this strategy is important because this strategy gives you the strategic approach to toxic situations and gives you confidence to set your boundaries. So I'm going to give you an example of this strategy that I used myself when my coach gave it to me. I had 2 stressful situations that were appearing on regular basis. So this strategy is for regular stresses at work. Later on, you become really good at it, then you can use it ad hoc straight away. And I had these 2 stresses. One was small, one was really big. One was with my colleague over the cup that she was using, and it was mine, and it was really like frustrating me. And the second one was with my boss, who was always asking me to do things that were like really unfair, and I was afraid to put down my boundaries. And this guy was really, really scary, and nobody has ever said no to him. And people who have done in the past, well, they were not with us anymore. So he was really, really a scary person to deal with. And I lacked confidence to stand up with him. I mean, sort of telling what is it that I would prefer, and I did not know how to approach the situations. So the first little confrontation that I had with my colleague, it was about the cup. So she was taking my cup, and I was getting really pissed off, and I thought, okay, I'm going to use if-then strategy on her. And I said, if she takes my cup again, then I will stay calm and cheerful, and I will give her another cup that I just bought. And I thought, okay, so she likes my cup because there's a little butterfly on it. So I went to the shop and I bought a beautiful cup, like a teacup, that has butterflies everywhere. And it was really beautiful. And so I just waited until she took my cup one morning. She did. She was at her desk drinking out of my cup. And instead of being annoyed, I was really happy that I've got something to give her, because I knew that this would be like a win-win situation. And I approached her and I used this strategy. So if she takes my cup again, then I will stay calm, positive, and cheerful, and I will just give her this cup. So I did this, and she looked at me with surprise and clocked the cup immediately because it was half open, like in a special packaging where you can see the cup. She saw the butterflies and she loved it. She had this beautiful, like happy sort of sparkle in her eyes. And then she looked at me and she said, "I'm really sorry for taking your cup. I'm really sorry. Are you sure you want to give me this cup? Because I know it was annoying you." And I said, yeah, it was like a really, really beautiful moment between us, because the solution of this if-then strategy worked. So how does this strategy work is that you have to pay attention to two different points. First of all, you have to be aware of the regular stressor, and then you have to stay in a positive set mind frame and positive emotions, and they have to be genuine, because people can feel your vibes. And if you're not genuinely cheerful and genuinely concerned about creating a win-win situation for both, people will feel this. They will know. And you won't be able to get through to them, and this strategy is not going to be as successful. So when I practiced this one and I was confident, I used it on my boss. So I said, okay, if my boss comes to me and asks me to work late Friday night again, then I will stay calm and cheerful, and I will say no, but I can come Monday morning early. So he came and he said, "I want you to work Friday night," and he walked off, and I ran after him, and I said, and I was cheerful, and I said, "No, but I can come Monday morning early." And I was so positive, and this guy just stopped in the middle of the room. He was not looking at me. He stopped in the middle of the room, and I could see his fist tighten, and his lips were like really sort of, put together really tight too. And he thought about it for a minute, and then he said, "Okay, but I don't like it." And then he walked off. And I said, "Oh my God, I scored. I achieved. I can't believe this is working with this huge obstacle of mine." And I became so much more confident knowing this strategy. So my advice for you is an invitation to use this strategy with toxic stresses at your work, with colleagues that are doing something that's annoying to you, with bosses that you're afraid to put boundaries with. And start small like I did. And you will learn lots more at my full Thriving Executive Women program. But this is just really good to start with. Okay, let's move on to another strategy that we have. Okay, so this one is talking about shifting from being an effect to being the cause. And this is one of the really, really important strategies that we're going to be covering today. So basically, I believe that we humans, once we have clarity, we gain confidence necessary to excel and be brilliant at everything that we do. When we lack clarity, then it's easy for us to be at the mercy of things that are happening to us. And we often find ourselves mismanage our work and become chronically stressed out and not successful because we feel out of control and unable to take charge. So when we lack clarity, we lack confidence. So clarity creates confidence. Without clarity, you end up at the effect side of the equation and are at the mercy of reacting to the events around you. So put yourself in your work situation now and think how you're reacting. Are you creating things, or you are reacting to things and events around you, people around you? So with having clarity, you are the cause of things that happen in your career. You are proactive, often for a grander purpose. And then, how do we get this confidence? And how do we ensure that we are proactive? That we are at the cause side of the equation. So basically, you can create, clarity with many strategies. But what is the important thing is that you can take two paths when you're learning how to react to things. Basically, you have to learn how does your behavior and your responses create different situations. I mean, there is a fork in the road, and each of us either consciously or unconsciously takes one or the other path. So you can, on the one side is the effects of things that happen to us, where we react to stress. And on the other side, we are causing the things that happen to us by shaping and inspiring ourselves and others, often for the grander purpose. And we can talk about the differences and what happens, what is it that you say to yourself when you are reacting to stresses and being at the effect. Basically, you are doing and sharing the sentences like, oh, I cannot possibly blow my own trumpet, I'm not good at that, or I do not trust myself, or I feel like I've reached a ceiling and cannot surpass it, or I have fear of being taken seriously because I'm just starting, or I would have been success, if it wasn't for my boss who wouldn't let me shine, or I would have been success if it wasn't for my lazy stuff. Right, so you're saying all these things when you're at the effect of things. So you can sort of notice this mind frame that you have, right? And then the strategy to overcome this kind of mind frame without treating the limiting beliefs first is by asking yourself these questions. How did I create this? And what can I do instead? So think about your latest challenge that you have, right? So when you notice whether you are at the effect side of the equation and are reacting to the stresses instead of being inspired, just do not beat yourself up. I invite you to be kind with yourself because you experience a lot of stress and dissatisfaction in your career anyway. And if you start beating yourself up, it only, remember when I talked about stacking up positive emotions and negative emotions, which one do you think happens when you are harsh with yourself, when you're beating yourself up? You're stacking up negative emotions, exactly. So when this happens, that you're reacting at work and you're at the effect side of the fork, just be kind to yourself. Say it's okay. It's okay. I just invite you to stop the blame and be brave to assume the responsibility. So that sounds much better than the blame, right? So then, easiest way to do this is by asking these two questions. How did I create this? And you stop and think about, okay, so how did I create this thing? And what is it that I can do instead? And then you find like really creative solution for that. So please, you understand that you cannot change a whole stressful work situation with one webinar, but now you have a starting point, right? And there is more. Let's move on to the next thing. So limiting beliefs. So these are really, really important mind blocks that are stopping you in creating our success. And this exercise, we are going to do a couple of things with limiting beliefs. First of all, we started last time thinking about one person you admire, but we did not finish it. So let's do this again. Think about one person in the whole world that you admire. Any person, just choose one really fast and intuitive thing, somebody that you like and admire. It can be real. It doesn't have to be real. It can be a celebrity. It can be somebody you know. It can be somebody who's still with us. It can be somebody like from history, like I mentioned Alexander the Great when I was a kid. And today's, I don't know, Sheryl Sandberg, or is it Tony Robbins, somebody like that. And then list reasons that stop you from being like this person. I would like you to write down, if you have paper in front of you, or if you're opening a Word document, or anywhere you can write. So write down the name of this person first, person that you admire. And then say, I cannot be this person because, and then list all the reasons that stop you from being like this person. And do this now. I'm going to wait a few minutes until you do this exercise, because it's important for you to jot this down. So list reasons that stop you from being like this person. So I cannot, because. So when I chose, I don't know, Tony Robbins, I said, I cannot be like Tony Robbins because I do not speak so loudly like he does. Or I cannot because I don't like confrontation. Or I cannot because I don't have that many people, knowing me. And this was one of the reasons. Or I cannot be like, I don't know, or Sheryl Sandberg because I do not live in the States. So this is one of the reasons. Okay. And then, once you listed these reasons, then you see, where do they fall under? Do they fall under, if I try, I fail? Or nobody will want me? Or I am not worthy? And circle the one that it applies to you. So have a look at your reasons why you can't be like this person, and see why that is. So for instance, I was saying, okay, I cannot be like Tony Robbins because I do not have this voice that he's got, like really loud. I thought, okay, this definitely goes under the, if I try, I fail. So if I try to be really loud, I think my voice is going to go. I'm not going to be able to make it. So which one is relevant to you? Just circulate the first one that appears, or you can circle two, or you can circle all three. Wonderful. So once you've done that, I'm going to go next. Okay, so next exercise is to discover financial cost of having this limiting belief in your life. So think about some kind of frustrating situation at work, when you cannot do something at your work, or when you're not finished something at work, when you're not successful at work. Think about, how does that make you feel? Write it down if you can. And then remember the exercise that we did on Thursday. When you close your eyes, take up a really deep breath in. Put your left hand to your heart and connect to your heart. Right hand to your lower belly. Feel your feet on the ground. And imagine yourself being in a beautiful, safe environment. Be there now and invite your best self in to join you. Remember this woman, this beautiful, successful woman that's achieved absolutely everything that you ever wanted in your life. Imagine her coming towards you, smiling at you, walking towards you, and see how she feels to you. What kind of vibes does she have, this successful woman, this amazing woman? And just imagine her, like, taking her place next to you, and invite her and yourself to join you and to help you with this exercise. And then imagine you being absolute genius at your work, at the right place, right career, as successful as you can be, and being really productive. How do you feel? How do you feel being an absolute genius at your work, being successful at your work? And tell me, by how much does your productivity at work increases by? Just give me like percentage from like 0 to 100%. And usually I get people telling me like, I don't know, 50%, 60, 100% when I'm in this amazing job that I love and I'm being very successful. And note this percentage. So what is the percentage of your productivity at work increases? Okay, so now we're going to do an exercise. And for this one, you definitely need a calculator. So grab your mobile phone or calculator, or you can calculate by hand. It's not difficult, I think. Okay, so jot down your income per annum. For instance, I've got the examples here in blue. If your income per annum is 40,000, if your productivity increases, whatever it is for you, I noted down 50% because it's easy to calculate. And then multiply these two. So 40,000 by 50% gives 20,000. So this number, 20,000, multiply by 5. And we're taking number 5 because this is number of years that's going to pass you by without you doing anything about improving yourself. Okay? And not being productive as you have just seen that you can be. So the result that you're getting by multiplying this by 5 years is 100,000. And what is this number telling us? Well, this number is telling us that 100,000 is the cost of you not being at your best at work, by not being in control of your limiting beliefs or your mind blocks. So this is the real financial cost of if you're not paying attention to your limiting beliefs, right? So just think about that for a minute and think about what is it that you can do to start your change right now. Right. So what I have as a last slide, I'm inviting you to, you have your invitation from last time, and if you haven't done so yet, I'm inviting you again to book your Discover Your Path to Career Success consultation, which you can schedule free below, or I can just open it here for you now. So if you will probably be able to see it on your screen if you refresh it. If you click on the pink button there, where it says schedule my free consultation or book my free Discover Your Path to Career Success and Recognition consultation, you can do this right now if you haven't done it already. And I would invite you to do this so then we can discover exactly what your career success blocker is, and you will discover your path to overcome this success blocker. So I would like to invite you to ask me any questions that you may have about today's session. Do you have anything that we did not cover? Is there anything that you would like to be answered? Or perhaps next webinar? You're welcome to ask me now. So how you can do this, just use this screen to your right, where I like 2 round circles. Let me see if I can access it as well. Wonderful. And just ask me anything about today's presentation. Would you have any questions about any of the strategies that we have covered? Is that everything, are they clear? And please feel free and feel like really brave to ask many questions. I'm one of you, so you don't have to be shy at all. Okay. Ah, okay. All right, we can do this. We will cover the question that you have on the free session personally. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Okay, I agree with you. That's fine. Okay. Okay. So everybody is in agreement. Wonderful. Okay. So I am then, shall I conclude this session unless you have a question to ask me? You're most welcome. I really love this webinar. I hope you had great value from it. And we're going to talk about this more on the free session that we're going to have, that you have scheduled. If you haven't done it yet, you're welcome to do it now on this pink button. Okay. All right, so I'm going to conclude this webinar, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you on our free consultation. Thank you, everyone. Stay well and keep brave and inspired and creative. Bye.